Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to this week's segment of Live Without Limits. I'm your host, Davita Shinsky, and today we're going to be talking about 7 online business ideas. Now, what I'm going to do is first start out with a story that I've told many times, but really plays out when you want to understand why having an online business is very important today. If you look back to the beginning of the 20th century, when the Europeans first started coming to this country, they brought their skills with them from their homeland. Many of them, back in their home country, used to go home to home selling their wares. When they came to the United States, what did they do? Instead of going home to home, they took a push cart, they stood on street corners, and they sold their wares. This way, instead of them going directly to the consumer came to them. Also, I always remember my father talking about how his father used to sell fruit from the stand on the street corners, and always remembered my mother telling the story of her family. Now, my grandfather, when they first came to this country, they landed in Savannah, Georgia. And they had the general store. My grandfather couldn't take the heat, so he went back to Russia. Then when he came back a second time, he ended up in New York City. Then all my aunts and uncles would come and visit, but because my grandmother was not the nicest person and was very petty and very jealous, they really had nothing to do with her. And my grandparents had 10 children. And my mother was one half of a set of twins. So they were the third and fourth child born in that family. Now, how my mother ended up in Savannah and met my father was that she went to Florida with friends, stopped off in Savannah, and my aunt and uncle took her to a wedding, and at that wedding is where she met my father. Now, many years later, when my mother passed away, the rabbi of the synagogue, it was his aunt and uncle whose wedding my parents met at. The next generation, or the first generation born in this country, were usually the ones who ended up fighting in World War II. Why? Because their country had given so much to them that they wanted to give back to their country. That was also the generation that went to work for the corporations and worked their way up into management. And then after 25 years, got a retirement party with their gold watch. And I had a friend whose father worked with the trucking company, and this is exactly what happened to him. The next generation was known as the baby boomer generation, and that generation followed their parents into work for the corporate environment, because if you were in college at that time, What were they teaching you? You go to work for the corporation and you have a job for life. Well, many of them worked 15, 20 years, and that was about the same time that these corporations started merging and having 2 to 3 people doing the same job. So, what did they do? They were offering buyout packages simply because it was an unwritten rule at that time that you had a job for life. So, in those buyout packages, they got 6 months severance pay, plus they continued to get their medical benefits. Many of them went into starting up their own businesses. This was around the time of the Y2K era when you started hearing about how computers were going to crash as we went into the 21st century. Needless to say, that didn't happen, but it was also the beginning of the dot-com era, and it was also around the same time that there was a big crash of the dot-com era simply because the prices and the numbers being floated around were unrealistic. And now what we've done is today we've come full circle because now we're the entrepreneur. And where does the entrepreneur work? Online. So what are we doing? We're basically doing the same thing that our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents did by having that little push cart on the street corners, because now you have an online business that you're doing from a website. Your website is literally your storefront on the World Wide Web. So that what we've done now is we've now become a global economy. It's no longer just a local economy where you go to the store in your neighborhood or you go to the street corner and buy from someone from the push cart, but you're literally going online. And why is that going? Because the millennial generation and Generation Z, the millennial generation is the generation that grew up from the 1980s, and that was the beginning of the personal computer, the software. It was also, if you remember, in the early 90s when you started seeing the smartphone. And why was that? Because Steve Jobs created it, and he proved that people were willing to pay to carry these little mini computers in their pockets. Having an online business is quite possibly one of the greatest ways to make a living. Being able to create an income with just a computer and a phone is a freedom like none other. It's a ton of work. Don't get me wrong, but you get to forego a commute, office politics, and showers. Because all you have to do is have a room set aside in your home where all you have to do is have a door, put up a sign, and let your family members know that between these hours you're not available. And if you've ever watched some of these trainings on multi-level marketing, what do they say? Have your first 90-day plan. What is that 90-day plan? That's when you do a flurry of most of the work to set everything up for the rest of the year. And it also gives you the opportunity to have a little bit more flexibility, because when you're working from home, what are you doing? You're creating opportunities that, because everything is done on a computer, the store is open 24/7. I remember on Quora, someone wanted to know if they literally had a store or a stall in a flea market, did they need to have an online presence? This was my answer to them, that if they did not have an online presence, they were leaving money on the table. Why? Because you have the millennial generation and you have Generation Z that literally do the majority of their work online. The Generation Z is known as the digital generation. And why is that? Because that's the beginning of iTunes, that's the beginning of podcasting, that's the beginning of listening to music on the go from iTunes. It was also how if you look at the cloud, you can store your information on the cloud. Take a little netbook like a Chromebook, and then you can access your information from anywhere and you can continue to work. You'll certainly put in more hours than you'd ever imagine, but the ability to work from your home office, kitchen table, coffee shop, or local library. Now, how many times have you walked into Starbucks and you literally seen people sitting there on their computer, sipping a cup of coffee? What are they doing? They're really just taking their business and working from a different location just so they can interact with people, because when you're at home, then you basically are alone. But when you're in a Starbucks, you have the ability to talk to other people. It's what attracts most people to the laptop lifestyle. If you are still trying to find that online business idea, maybe a supplement to your income to get you fully out of the 9 to 5 in a few years, then you need to consider these ideas. And the first one being digital traffic manager. What is a digital traffic manager? For one thing, they're a digital marketer. And what do? They're using the tools that are online, which is a system, because every business has a system. And what this system is doing is allowing you to create a business for yourself. For instance, digital marketing is a lot bigger than just social media. Brands are looking for quality traffic, awareness, and exposure. While this includes social media, it also includes guest blogging, press, content creation, and the like. This takes a lot of skill and organization to manage it all, and that's why companies are looking for help. If you are savvy, you can create a strategic plan to drive traffic to someone's website beyond just search engine optimization. Now, we're going to break that down, but one of the things that I can tell you is you need a sales funnel. On Quora, I often see questions where people don't understand marketing online and they're looking for a strategy. And the biggest thing I can tell them is use a sales funnel, because what is the sales funnel? It's a way that you use to get someone to opt in to your email, so that you are rather, instead of an autoresponder, and then in your autoresponder, you place emails that you can send them either on a daily basis or every 2 days or every 3 days. But you need to make sure that you're giving them quality information that allows them to want to open up your email when they see it. E-commerce store. Having an e-commerce store has become easier thanks to drop shipping and its big business. Wayfair is a drop shipping website, and they are killing it. Platforms like Shopify, Oberlo, and AI Express make setting up your online store a breeze. The key then is to drive a lot of traffic to your website and equalize for conversion. Another site that you need to look at is even Magento, because what Magento allows you to do is to go on there, create a store, and connect it to a checkout form that allows you to earn that money immediately. You may also like website creation with platforms like WordPress, Squarespace, Shopify, and others. Creating a website is easier than ever. If you have a little tech savvy, you don't have to know how to code in order to learn one of these platforms and set up websites for companies. Creating a website for a business is really selling time. It's not anything that they can't do themselves, but most lack the time to learn. Get good at a couple of these platforms and sell speedy websites. Another site that you may want to look at is Builderall. And I can tell you the best link to go to if you want to review Builderall is one, and that's the number one, bestbusinessbuildingtools.com. And why is that a good source? Because you don't just build websites on that platform. You can also have access to autoresponders and software to create sales funnels. And what the sales funnel is a journey that you're putting your customer through where you are getting their email address, but you also are giving them something in return, and you're connecting that to your autoresponder where you can get their names and the email address and build a relationship with them. You also have access to digital products like creating magazines, creating videos, and on those videos you can put your links, you can put your phone number, you can create something that you are helping them. Now, you also have access to creating your own e-learning courses and posting them and setting them up as an affiliate program where when people who purchase your product also become your affiliate, and when they become your affiliate, then they help you sell your products. They earn a commission, but it also gets you more exposure than you're depending on yourself to do it all yourself. You have access to over 20 tools which allow you to really build a good marketing strategy for your business. If you go to Shopify, if you go to WordPress, even Squarespace, then if you want to create a good digital marketing strategy, you have to purchase an autoresponder. You then have to purchase separately a way to create eBooks, a way to create videos for marketing. So what you're doing by joining Builderall is that you are having access to all these tools for one low price, and you're able to build a way to help you expand your business into more than just you being a solopreneur. Because if you look at it this way, if you were in a retail store and you were the owner, then you would have to hire other people to pay them and train them before you even earn the first dollar. When you have an online business, you actually are earning money while you're training other people to help you sell your products. Another way to earn an income is as a ghostwriter. Content marketing is really important to most online businesses, and the creation of content can be daunting. If you have some background in SEO or search engine optimization and are able to write smart, compelling articles, companies will pay. Most content writers charge 10 cents per word. So a 3,000 word article would garner you $300. Get a few clients and write a few articles a week, and you'll get a sweet little hustle. Remember this, and this is really big. WordPress is a blogging site. And I'm going to talk about this because I actually had joined a program called Wealthy Affiliate that was, and I've seen many questions about Wealthy Affiliate. And I see people who are members of Wealthy Affiliate praising it, plus writing blogs. Why? Because the owners, who are Kyle and Carson, they actually, when they were in college, went on WordPress and set up a membership site. Then what they were doing was they were selling memberships for people to come on and learn how to write articles and how to write reviews and how to build a website on WordPress and use the plugins on WordPress. And then once you finished that course, you could take a boot camp where it was all about how to advertise and promote Wealthy Affiliate on Bing, Yahoo, and Google. So when you look at what they offered, they were very limited in what they had to offer because you still had to go and purchase an autoresponder. You still had to purchase an e-commerce store. You still had to purchase a way to create videos or sales funnels. So remember this, always when you are looking at a platform, make sure that you know exactly what you want to do with your business and which platform offers you the most value for the money. This is why I ended up using Builderall and leaving Wealthy Affiliate to begin with, because all I was doing was paying less than $1 more to join Builderall, and I had access to over 15 tools when I was on Wealthy Affiliate and paying them $49 a month. The only thing I had access to was building a website and doing blogging. So think about it. If you want to go to Builderall, go to one, and that's the number one, bestbusinessbuildingtools.com. Bookkeeping service. If you are good with numbers, you are my hero. A lot of business owners hate the part of business and love to have to pass it to someone who loves it. If you are great with numbers and super organized, you should have no problem finding clients. Now, I have a friend of mine that she retired from, and I forget the name of the company, but it was a government agency where she actually kept the books for them. But what she has done on her own is she actually does income tax. Now, her busiest season is between January and April, but she has been doing this so long and built up such a following and keeps getting new clients that she's busy year-round just doing income tax for people who have never have backlogs of of income tax that haven't been done even 3 to 5 years behind. Another thing to look at is online workshops and classes. This is something that I've always been interested in, and I went on Skillshare and created a video courses. Now, I initially went on there and I had built it up to over 10 courses on there. But what they really want is someone that's teaching a skill, not really just teaching a course. So you need to make sure that what you're doing on Skillshare is teaching a course. Another site is Udemy. And you can go on there and create and sell robust courses. And one thing is you have to create videos that are the best quality. So you need to know how to do that at the same time so that it blocks out all the outside noise while you are creating your videos. That way, what you're doing is giving them the best quality, and then you can sell a course and make anywhere from $15 a course. Now, you can sell it for $15, but Udemy will keep a certain, about 5%, and pay you the rest. But it is a way for you to create courses. Now, on Skillshare, I had a course on creating a mission statement. That was one of my biggest selling courses. And what I got paid on was for each minute that they listened to the audio program. Now, this month, or this past month, because I always get paid on the 16th from them, I made $21.14. That's the most I've made in all the months that I've had it on there. But if I'm on Udemy, I can make that with just 2 sales of that same program, so that I'm about to go take that and put it on that platform as well. Plus, when I'm on Builderall, I can create my own e-learning courses. And not only can I create an e-learning course and sell it for $47, but then I can turn around and set it up so that it can be sold by anyone who takes my course as an affiliate. And when they sell it, they earn money for marketing it, and I earn money too. So that what that's doing is creating and giving me a sales force of people who are actually buying my courses. So online courses are fabulous, but online workshops are getting really popular. Access to you for a block of time is really valuable to a workshop attendee. So that Neville Medora, founder of Copywriting Course, does this a lot better by serving his students to make a great profit, offering a specific time to be online, forces people to actually show up and take in what you're teaching, as opposed to an evergreen course that can be taken at any time. It's important to note that none of these online course businesses will work without customers. So you must learn how to market your own business and become a student of marketing so that you can also brand yourself. So always remember this. You can go to my website, and that website is the #1 personalcareercoach.com, and you can sign up for both individual and group coaching. And why is that important to understand? Because if you are looking to set up an online business and have never done it before, it's up to you to decide what you want to do and how, what industry and what niche you want to serve.